On that note, we're going to try and go over to Jay for groups E and F, and hopefully he can talk us through those without breaking up. So fingers crossed.
Well, yeah, I think my computer may be having a meltdown. We'll start off with Group E. I'm basically predicting that Brazil should top this group. I do have questions about Neymar's mentality going into this. He's become a bit of a prima donna at PSG, as far as I can tell. However, I say we because I'm part Brazilian, we have improved our striker situation, I believe, with Jesus and Firmino, whereas last World Cup we were looking at players like Fred. So I definitely think as an attacking force, Brazil will look very good. Other than that, defensively, I probably wouldn't go there just because there's always the chance of something like a 7-1. I really don't want to see that again as a Brazil fan, but it could happen. We've got very attacking fullbacks, and while we do have some good centre-backs, if there's only two people back, it's still going to be a very difficult job against any teams with good attacking players. With Costa Rica, did amazingly in the World Cup in 2014. I don't think they'll do the same this year. I think they're actually going to finish bottom of the group. I think they've got a great goalkeeper in Keylor Navas, like I've already said. However, the likes of Joel Campbell, Brian Ruiz haven't looked as good as they were going into World Cup 2014. So I definitely think that could be an issue for Costa Rica. So I think second place is going to be between Switzerland and Serbia. I'm going to go with Switzerland, although I do like Serbia as an outside bet, purely because they've looked very organised. Finished on the same amount of points as Portugal in qualification as well. They only lost out on goal difference. So I'm looking at likes of Shaqiri and Seferovic. Probably really butchered that name, but he's their striker, potentially doing well in this one. And as for Serbia, Serbian manager has no coaching experience, as far as I'm aware, before he got this job. So he's not the best manager to be leading a side into the World Cup, but Savic from Calcio A, I believe it's Lazio, has looked amazing this season, and he wasn't picked because the previous manager didn't like him, didn't think he suited their setup. He's now being picked because of a new setup, so I think he could do very well. And Mitrovic, former Newcastle, then he went to Fulham, is very important for Serbia and scores a lot of goals, so he could be an outside pick for Serbia as well. And then if I go to Group F, we have Germany, of course, who I think will do very well this tournament. I think there's so many options in that German side. I do believe an issue there, despite the fact they're going to finish first, is there's so many players that could score points that you may pick the wrong one. I do like the look of Thomas Muller. I do like the look of Timo Werner. I also think their defence is very solid, so any German pick in defence is going to be a good shout. And then again, it's another one of those groups where second place is up for grabs with Mexico, Sweden and South Korea. I think South Korea have had a very bad qualification, so I think they're probably going to finish fourth, although of course you've got Heung-min Son, who could do amazing, and then you've got Mexico and Sweden. I actually fancy Mexico to actually get second, purely because Mexico have a couple of players that I think could do really well. Javier Hernandez is someone who can score goals. He's not done that great at West Ham, but he is a natural goal scorer. Irving Lozano has been incredible in the Dutch league this year, and they generally do qualify through group stages. I've forgotten the exact stat, but I think it's something like 1986. Every World Cup they've been in from 1986, they've got through the group stages. So I'm looking at Mexico to do that again. Sweden don't have Zlatan anymore. Marcus Berg apparently has been very good for them in his place. And then I do believe there is another player who the name has just completely escaped from me, who plays in the Bundesliga, who's an attacking midfielder who can, or has been very good in the Bundesliga apparently, and has become a star in it this year, who could do well. But for some reason,
Forsberg.
That's the one. Thank you, Kurt. I didn't write his name down. I've literally got the note here saying attacking midfielder looks very promising from the Bundesliga. I'm like, why wouldn't I put his name down? Thank you for that, Kurt.
Who's that?
It's almost like you have my notes. But yeah, I think Germany, Mexico, Sweden and South Korea will be the way that one finishes.